me to discuss the work of Hanna-Barbera is Greg Ehrbar, the author of Hanna-Barbera, The Recorded History. This has been a wonderful 2 evenings of talking about the work of Hanna-Barbera. And the next film we're going to watch is called The Gathering, something that I think will take a lot of our viewers by surprise because it's a live action film starring Ed Asner, and it's a serious film. He's playing an executive who finds out very early on in the film that he doesn't have long to live, and he takes this as an opportunity to reconcile with his estranged family. Now, how common was it for Hanna-Barbera to make live action films?
They started making live action, I would say, roughly about 1963. The gentleman who was at first helming it was Arthur Pearson, who also worked on the Flintstones, but had a background in filmmaking. He did various things. One of the first things, if not the first thing they ever produced, was The Story of Dr. Lister, which was a half-hour featurette about the doctor who pioneered a topical cure for infection.
Yes.
That eventually became something that was taken internally and was purchased by the company that makes Listerine. They continued to do these. They did a lot of industrials. That was the bread and butter too, animated industrials and live action industrials. They also had animated and live action segments on like the Banana Splits show, which Richard Donner directed. And they did a few live action Saturday morning shows. The very well received Korg, 70,000 BC, which was a semi-documentary about a Stone Age family, not the Flintstones. And they made a TV movie called Kiss and the Phantom of the Park.
Oh, I love that movie.
With Anthony Zerbe.
Oh my gosh.
So live action was there, but it was never their bread and butter. And within that came The Gathering.
And well, this one was very successful.
This one was extremely successful and extremely well received. Randall Kleiser directed it. This is just before Grease. And James Poe wrote it. And you've got Maureen Stapleton, you just can't go wrong with, who plays off of Asner so well. Their relationship is strained, but what it strives for very, very much is not to be mawkish, not to be disease of the week.
Yeah.
It's tear-jerking if you want it to be, but it tries not to be melodramatic. And Asner and Stapleton's performances have a lot to do with that.
Absolutely.
They are not going to make this about Sturm and Drang, I guess is the phrase, you know?
Yeah.
So it is a very impressive production. And it was lauded at its time, not very well remembered, ought to be. So perhaps showing it, all of this I'm thrilled with. But
yeah.
I think this one is a very special one in particular that should get more showings.
Yes, I totally agree. Well, thank you so much for this context. Let's take a look from 1977. Here is The Gathering. Back with me to discuss The Gathering is Greg Ehrbar. This is a film that, as you were saying when you were introducing it, it doesn't try to kind of be over emotional, yet it's still really moving in large measure because of the incredible cast. And it was an Emmy award-winning film.
Less is more sometimes.
Yes.
There's not a whole lot of, huge confrontations, even among the children. There's really only a little bit of that. A lot of it's just bubbling under. But isn't that kind of the way it is sometimes in families? It was also, again, I read Barbera's autobiography, My Life in Tunes, and he said he was not close to his father. Hanna was just the opposite, very close to his parents, very close to his sisters. He worked with his father on building the Pantages Theater even. So that's again a difference. But there has to have been, especially with the script, when Barbera must have felt strongly about this particular one. And by a lot of people are probably surprised if they stuck around for the end to see the Hanna-Barbera logo at the end.
It's not what people would associate with
No.
Hanna-Barbera. That's
No.
right. Unless, of course, you are not paying attention and see Yogi Bear's appearance in this film.
Yes.
When the grandkids are waking up Ed Asner on Christmas morning and up pops the stuffed animal of Yogi Bear. A very cute nod to their work.
It really was.
Yeah.
It really was and that was a great scene.
And one of the things that I love about your book is precisely this, the detail with which you're able to tell this really, I would say, epic story about the company that produced so many beloved characters, that did so much work that we're not familiar with. Was it difficult to do the research for your book?
It was, in that there isn't a whole lot of access to a lot of paperwork and things like that.
Like company records? And,
no, but also I didn't realize I'd been working on this book since I was 6. I really didn't realize that. It was a lot of looking at the works, talking to as many people as I can, tracking them down. Sometimes they were people who knew people, because a lot of them have left us. I kept wrestling with how I was going to organize it, how I was going to focus it. That's why I credit my wife with just write the thing and just say the story. And it eventually expanded to almost 100 years of history.
Well, in addition to your book, you also have a podcast.
Yeah, actually 2 now, because the Fantastic World of Hanna and Barbera, and I have the "and" in there as a throwback to the way their names were in the MGM days, but also because it's Hanna and Barbera and thousands of other people. And so it's not just those guys, it's everybody. And it's been on for about 3 years, and we've almost, 70 or so episodes. And I've encountered people who have been opportunities to interview who are not connected, or I can't figure out a way to make it so they're, So I have a second podcast called Pop Culture Classics. Those are people who are involved in animation or TV or music that aren't necessarily directly connected with Hanna-Barbera. It is something that I feel like it's bigger than me. I feel like it's something that people, I hope it just goes out there, because I just want to serve it up. And if there's more books, more power to you, great, because it's great stuff made by great people.
Thank you so much, Greg.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
Well, Greg and I are saying goodnight, but stay with us for more Hanna-Barbera right after this.
Next on TCM, Baxter, then Chomps, and later Holiday in Mexico. It's a fiesta on TCM tonight.